Hi guys, let's start a new chapter. This is called ratio and proportion. Now we've done some part of ratio and proportion in class 7 and class 8. So let's move on with the chapter. A ratio is not in your syllabus in class 10, which means exercise 7A of this book is not in your syllabus. So any question related to ratio, be it in 7B or C or D, which 7D is basically a revision exercise, is not in your syllabus. So you don't need to study it specifically for this year. Good. Now let's look at what does proportion mean. So for non-zero terms, I am repeating non-zero. So for non-zero terms, A, B, C, D are said to be in proportion if A is to B is equal to C is to D. If I write this in the fraction form, it would look like A upon B is equal to C upon D. If I cross multiply, what would get is A into D is equal to B into C. Now A and D are known as the extremes, whereas B and C are known as the means. A is the first term, B is the second term, C is the third term, and D is the fourth term. So I repeat, A and D are the extremes, B and C are the means, and we just wrote it in the fraction forms and we got AD is equal to BC. Now this also is read as product of extremes is equal to product of means because A and D are the extremes and B and C are the means. So important things to note, non-zero numbers, A upon B is equal to C upon D, product of extremes equal to product of means, and B and C are the means whereas A and D are the extremes. Now let's look at another thing which is continued proportion. So three terms, again non-zero, are said to be in continuous proportion or continued proportion if A is to B is equal to B is to C. If I write it in the fraction form, that would be A upon B is equal to B upon C. Now B is the mean proportional, which is the middle number, and if we cross multiply again, we get AC is equal to B square. Right. So B square is equal to AC, B is the mean term, and A is to B is equal to B is to C. Now this can keep going on, which means A upon B is equal to B upon C is equal to C upon D is equal to D upon E is equal to E upon F. All this would be in continuous proportion, right? So that's about it, and that brings me to the last thing, which is K method of solving questions based on continuous proportion or continued proportion. We will look at it when we solve a question. So remember K method and remember B square is equal to AC when we talk about continued proportion, and remember A into D is equal to B into C. Perfect. Let's go ahead and solve some questions. So the first question that we solve is question number 1, part 1. It says find the fourth proportional, which means we're looking at 4 terms and 3 terms are given. The first 3 terms are given. We need to find the fourth term. So let the fourth term be x. So what's given is 1.5 is to 4.5 is equal to 3.5 is to x, which means product of extremes is equal to product of means, which means 1.5 into x is equal to 3.5 into 4.5, which means x is equal to 3.5 into 4.5 divided by 1.5. That's 1.513, which is 3.5 into 3, that's 9, and 1.5, which means 10.5. Therefore, fourth proportional is 10.5. Perfect, that's our answer. Let's look at the next one. It says find the third proportional, which means we're looking at 3 terms, and this is the first term, this is the second term, the third term is missing that we need to figure out. So let third term or third proportional be x. What we know then is 3 into 2, 6 plus 2, 8, which means 8 upon 3 is to 4 is to x are in continuous proportion, which means 4 into 4 will be equal to 8 upon 3 into x. Yes, that's correct. B square is equal to A into C. And B in this case is 4. So B square is equal to A into C, which means x would be equal to 4 into 4 into 3 upon 8. 4, 1, 4, 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, which means 6. Therefore, third proportional is 6. Fairly simple, right? Good. Let's look at the next one. The next one that we do is question number 3, part 1. It says find the mean proportional between 6 plus 3 root 3 and 8 minus 8 minus 4 root 3. So let the mean proportional be x. Right, be x. So what we know then is mean proportional x square would be equal to the product of the a and c. In this case 6 plus 3 root 3 multiplied with 8 minus 4 root 3. Right? I hope you remember a is to b is to c are in continuous proportion, which means b square is equal to ac. That's the same logic I have used. In this case b is x. So x square is equal to a, in this case 6 plus 3 root 3, c in this case negative 8 minus 4 root 3, which means x square is equal to 6 into 8, 48, minus 6 into 4 root 3, that's 24 root 3, 3 into 8 root 3, 3 root 3 into 8, that's plus 24 root 3, and 3 root 3 into negative 4 root 3, that's 3 into 4, 12, root 3 into root 3, that's 3. So 12 into 3, 36. So that's minus 36. This and this gets cancelled. X square is equal to 48 minus 36. That's 12, which means x is equal to root 12. That would be 4 into 3. Yes, that's plus minus 2 root 3. Yes, that's the correct answer. Therefore, the mean proportional is plus minus 2 root 3. Good. Let's look at the next one. The next one that we do is question number 4. It says if x plus 5 is the mean proportion between x plus 2 and x plus 9. So what's given is x plus 2 is to x plus 5 is to x plus 9 are in continued proportion. That's what's given. Right. So which means the second term square, which is b square, is equal to AC, which means first term multiplied with third term. Yes, b square is equal to a into c. Let's open the bracket. So that will be x square plus 10x plus 25 is equal to x square plus 9x plus 2x, that's 11x plus 18. X square and x square gets cancelled. That's 25 minus 18 is equal to 11x minus 10x, which means x is equal to 7. So we've got the value x is equal to 7. Good, let's look at the next question. The next question that we are doing is question number 6. Question number 6 says, what least number must be added to these 4 numbers to make them proportional? So let x be added to make them proportional. So what we have now is 6 plus x upon 15 plus x would be equal to 20 plus x upon 43 plus x. Yes, that's correct. If I add x to all of them, then a is to b will be equal to c is to d. Now let's cross multiply. That will give us x plus 43 multiplied with x plus 6 is equal to x plus 20 multiplied with x plus 15. This gives us x square plus 43x and 6x, 49x plus 43 into 6, that's 240 and 18, which means 258. This is equal to x square plus 20x and 15x, that's 35x plus 20 into 15, 15 into 2, 30, which means 300. X square and x square gets cancelled. So we have 49x minus 35x is equal to 300 minus 258. This gives us 49 minus 35, that's 14x, and this is 300 minus 258, that's 40 and 2, that's 42. Therefore, x is equal to 3. 42 divided by 14, x is equal to 3. So what is the least number which needs to be added? Therefore, 3 needs to be added to make them in proportion. This is a question which appeared in your board exam in 2013. Good, let's look at the next one. The next one that we are doing is question number 7, part 1. It says if A, B, C are in continuous proportion, show that A square plus B square. So that's what we need to prove. Now, I hope you remember the K method that I talked about. Let's go ahead and look at the K method. Now, K method says, before I talk about the K method, since A, B, C are in continued proportion, what we get is, that's point 1, what we get is A upon B is equal to B upon C. That's given. Let it be equal to K. Right? We are equating it to K, which means what we get is A is equal to BK, B is equal to CK, and put B is equal to CK in A is equal to BK, and we get A is equal to CK multiplied with K. Yes, A is equal to BK. Instead of B, I put CK, which means A is equal to CK square. Now, why are we doing this? The logic of doing this is to reduce the number of variables. That's the only reason. We have 3 variables. The objective is to make it reduce the number of variables and work on it, right? So we have one simple term, which is K. Let's see how it works. Now, before I go on and solve this question, I want to figure out one more thing, and I want to clarify one doubt. Whenever you have a question which says prove left hand side is equal to right hand side, so whenever you have a question which says prove left hand side is equal to right hand side, there are 3 possible options which you can use. Option 1, you work with left hand side, solve it, and this is equal to right hand side. So for example, you work with the left hand side, you start solving it, and the value comes equal to right hand side. That's the approved method. Next, instead of left hand side, you start working with the right hand side, you solve it, and you get it equal to left hand side. This method is also approved. Number 3, which is you work with left hand side, and let's say you solve it and you get it valued, or you get a value, let's say equal to X. Then you start working with the right hand side and you solve it, and you get a value X, which means since left hand side and right hand side are equal, which means we've been able to prove it. So these are the 3 approved methods by the board. There is no other method which is approved by the board, which means if you cross multiply, which means if you end up cross multiplying and you prove A square plus B square multiplied with B square plus C square is equal to the cross multiplication, that is not allowed, which means any operation on left hand side and right hand side which mixes left hand side and right hand side is not allowed. I repeat, any operation which mixes left hand side and right hand side is not allowed. The approved methods are work with left hand side, make it equal to right hand side. Method 2, work with right hand side, make it equal to left hand side. Method 3, work with left hand side, make it equal to some number. Work with right hand side, make it equal to the same number. These are the only 3 possible options. So now that this is done, now we figured out how to prove what is the method allowed to prove left hand side and right hand side. Let's go ahead and solve this question. So okay, so let's go ahead and start with left hand side. So left hand side is A square plus B square upon B times A plus C. Now put A is equal to CK square and B is equal to CK. Let's see what we get. So instead of A, I have CK square the whole square. Instead of B, I have CK the whole square. And instead of B in the denominator, I have CK. Instead of A, I have CK square. Instead of C, I have just C. So this becomes C square K to the power 4, and this becomes C square K square. This becomes CK square plus C. Anything common in the numerator? I notice C square K square is common between both these terms. So let's take C square K square common. What remains in the first term is K square. what remains in the second term is plus 1. Next, here I have ck. Out of these two terms, another c comes out, which means what remains in the first term is k square plus 1. K square plus 1, k square plus 1 gets cancelled, and what we have is 1c and 1c cancels the 2c, and 1k cancels the power, which means my numerator now, or rather not numerator, my left hand side now is equal to only k. Right, I hope you got this. K square plus 1 got cancelled with k square plus 1, c square got cancelled with 2 times c, not 2 times 3, c multiplied with c, and k cancelled the second power of k. So left hand side was equal to k. Now let's work with the right hand side. So right hand side is equal to b times a plus c upon b square plus c square. Let's substitute values. P is equal to ck, a is equal to ck square plus c. In the denominator I have b square, which is ck whole square plus c square. So between these two terms I have c common, so this is ck, another c comes out, and I am left with k square plus 1. In the denominator I have c square k square plus c square. Yes, which means this is, let's put this point 10, this is point number 11, this is point number 12. Next we are in point number 13. So the numerator now is c square k and k square plus 1. In the denominator I have c square common between these two terms, so what remains now is k square plus 1. K square plus 1 and k square plus 1 gets cancelled, c square and c square gets cancelled, which means right hand side is also equal to k. So from step 9 and step 14, left hand side is equal to right hand side is equal to k, hence proved. Done. So I hope you realize the method to prove left hand side equal to right hand side using the k method. Let's look at the last question for this video. The last question that we work on is question number 7, part 3. If a by b is equal to c by d, show that, okay, again left hand side and right hand side. So let's go ahead and use the k method this time. Usually we use the k method when there is continued proportion, but let's use it this time and see how it works. So point number 1, let a by b is equal to c by d is equal to k, which means a is equal to bk and c is equal to dk. So let's work with the left hand side. So our left hand side is a cube c plus ac cube. Let's take out some element, anything common. Yes, ac is common. So if I take ac common, what remains here is a square plus c square. In the denominator, I have bd common. So if I take bd common, what remains is b square plus d square. Yes, that's correct. Next, let's replace the value of a as bk. Let's replace the value as c as dk. A is bk the whole square. C is dk the whole square. In the denominator, I have bd and I have b square, which is b square plus d square. Okay, this is point number 4. Okay, next point. This is bk dk, this b and this b get cancelled, this d and this d get cancelled. So what we have is k square. In the bracket we have b square k square plus d square k square. In the numerator we have b square plus d square. Anything common between these two elements? Yes, k square is common. So we already have a k square outside. Let's take another k square outside. What remains inside is b square plus d square. Denominator also is b square plus d square. B square plus d square from both numerator and denominator gets cancelled, which means my left hand side is equal to k to the power 4. So we've been able to get the value of left hand side in terms of k as k to the power 4. Good. Let's look at the right hand side now. Now right hand side, is equal to a plus c the whole square. So a plus c the whole square would make it a is bk and c is dk the whole square. Not whole square, to the power 4. My mistake, that's to the power 4. And denominator is b plus d to the power 4. Okay. Between these two terms, I have k common. So let's take k common. So when I take k common, inside the bracket is b plus d and everything raised to the power 4. In the denominator, I have b plus d to the power 4. Next, let's open this. So this will become k to the power 4 and multiplied with b plus d to the power 4 divided by b plus d to the power 4. B plus d to the power 4 and b plus d to the power 4 get cancelled, which means right hand side is also equal to k to the power 4. So from number 7 and step number 11, we get left hand side is equal to right hand side is equal to k to the power 4, hence proved. Perfect. That brings me to an end of this video. I have marked some homework questions. If you have any questions or queries, feel free to write into me. Thank you so much. Take care. Be safe. I'll see you with the next video. Bye bye.